Did you know that you can make the choice to be happy or to be sad most of the time? Yes, of course, things happen where you're not going to have necessarily the feel goods, regardless of your overall happiness quotient, if you will. But overall, you do have the choice, believe it or not, to be happy or to be sad most of the time. Now, there are some things that we can do that can give you an edge on feeling happier, if you will. And so that's what we're here to talk about on this Mindful Monday. So if it is your first time joining, feel free to type in the comments where you're coming from. If you have any questions, comments, we love to hear future topics you'd like to hear about. And also, if you're first joining us, you can type the word mindful in comments. And of course, after the broadcast, I'll go back and put a link that if you follow it, you can get a free recording that I created on releasing limiting beliefs. It's a hypnotic audio, of course, and also the PDF cheat sheet, which is simply bullet points of what we covered each week, and that's released the following Sunday. So some of the things, here's a list of habits that can cause more or create more happiness, if you will. Excuse me. All right, so number one, believe it or not, smile. Yes, I know that we smile when we're happy, right? Of course. And yet the opposite can be true too. If you smile, it can help you to be happy because it hacks into the brain. It's like a little brain hack that helps you to release dopamine, which is one of those feel-good neurotransmitters. And so it's going to create a little bit more happiness, if you will. Now, if you're not one of those people that want to just go around faking it till you're making it with this silly grin on your face, you can practice smiling at yourself in the mirror in the morning and kind of just seeing how that comes across. All right, number two is exercise. So this just isn't for your body, of course. Exercising releases endorphins, which also make you feel good. And regular exercise can also help in reducing stress. It can reduce feelings of anxiety, can release that. It's that bilateral stimulation that gets that anxiety or stuff out. And regular exercise can also help to boost self-esteem and overall happiness, believe it or not. Now, getting adequate sleep is next. So most adults, believe it or not, actually need at least 7 hours of sleep every night. And so if you're having trouble with this, we had a whole Mindful Monday on sleep, so I'm not going to go into detail, but you can keep a sleep journal to kind of note what, is going on, and then just practice good sleep hygiene overall. Next one is eat until your mood is content, and not anything you want. So, dark chocolate can be a mood booster if it's appropriate for you, of course. But what we're really talking about here is carbohydrates because they release serotonin, which is also a feel-good hormone. However, we want to keep the simple carbs, which is what everybody thinks of when I say carbs, like high sugar and starch, like those potato chips and all that kind of stuff, to a minimum. You want to enjoy complex carbs, which is going to include things like vegetables, beans, and whole grains. And then you can also take in proteins such as meat, food, poultry, legumes, and dairy, because this is going to also release dopamine, which is a feel-good neurotransmitter, as well as norepinephrine, which can boost your energy and your concentration. Let's see, omega-3 fatty acids, like those found in fatty fish. Now, I'm personally allergic to seafood, so don't freak out. You can supplement those with other vitamin kind of things too. But these omega-3 fatty acids have been found to have an anti-inflammatory effect that might even extend the overall health of your brain as well. So dietary kind of concerns kind of thing. So not eating anything and everything you want till your heart's content, basically. Next one is practice gratitude. We've also done whole Mindful Mondays on how gratitude changes your brain. So research shows, again, that a daily gratitude practice can have a significant impact on feelings of hope and happiness, right? Next one is giving compliments to others. So studies show that performing acts of kindness or speaking kindly to others, basically, may also help promote your overall well-being. Next one is to breathe deeply. So taking those deep diaphragmatic breaths moves you into rest and digest out of fight or flight. And I give bonus points. I teach all my clients this. for making a practice of taking 3 deep breaths every couple hours, and then on the exhale in your mind saying something kind to yourself, like relax now, because you want to constantly be down regulating in this overstimulated society. And next, we want to talk about acknowledging the unhappy moments. I took 2 weeks off because, we lost one of our kitty cats, and then I had some medical tasks. So I was not the happiest of person, even though I am a happy person. And so when things happen, you really want to let yourself feel the feels, because most strong emotions are going to pass through the body within 90 seconds if we allow them to. Now, I understand that, grief can be a little bit more prolonged, but most of the things like fear, anxiety, that kind of stuff, they actually pass through the body in 90 seconds if we let them. What happens is we tend to stuff them down, and then they tend to recur, or we tend to keep recycling those same thoughts. Next one is journal. So having a place to safely express and process your thoughts and feelings can be very healing. Next is face stress head on. So instead of allowing yourself to get overwhelmed by all the work you have on your plate and then procrastinating doing it, which only overwhelms us all more, when they're done it, prioritize your task and start with the most difficult task, because after you check those off, particularly if it's, earlier in the day, then you feel more accomplished and you're, flying through the day or flowing through the day a little easier. Avoid comparison to others. They say the flowers do not compare, and neither should we. And this can mean at work, in fitness, with friends, and definitely on social media. Just don't do it. Declutter. Set a timer and take a total of 20 minutes, 15 minutes to tidy a specific area, though, and then use the next 5 minutes to put any stray items away, and put any that you no longer need into a donate bin, if you will, and give them away. Donate them to Goodwill or whatever it is you have around you, a charity. Because giving and decluttering is 2 different ways that both boost happiness. Spend time with friends, because we're social animals who require a sense of connection. Plan your week out in advance. Blocking your time, even if you don't necessarily stick to it, is going to give you a sense of agency, and it can really kind of quiet the mind and give you peace overall. And then unplug. Take time out from electronics for at least 1 hour every week, and just let your mind wander. Let it be. Your mind needs time off too. And so you can do this by meditating, by reading, by spending time in nature, by doing an arts and crafts kind of project, whatever it is to you. Next one is ground or earth, whatever you want to call it. So spending at least 30 minutes each week in nature has been shown scientifically to lower blood pressure and even lower the chances of developing into severe depression. Next is explore meditation. So there are many types of meditation. I know I'm a yoga therapist and meditation teacher. However, some types are easier than others. So you don't have to sit cross-legged for 30 minutes in silence every day. You can try sound bowls, yoga nidra. Just find something that works for you. It can even be a walking or a mindfulness meditation. Do hypnosis or self-hypnosis, of course. What an amazing way to rest your conscious mind while getting the subconscious and conscious mind aligned with what your goals are. Find a self-care ritual that works for you, and this might be unwinding in a hot bath or doing an Ayurvedic self-oil massage known as Abhyanga. It might mean a yoga practice, whatever it is for you. Find it and do it. All right, next one is giving back. Consider volunteering if you have the time, and if not, just doing random acts of kindness for those that you are around can really be a feel-good mood booster. And then take yourself out. Consider going to maybe your favorite restaurant, even a movie, just doing something by yourself. Spending deliberate time alone can help you to reconnect to what you really need to yourself, so that you're not constantly giving, especially for my empaths. And then create a thought list. So this one's interesting. At the beginning of each month or week, whatever works for you, make a short list of happy memories or things that you are looking forward to. And then when you arrive early somewhere and you're just waiting, or you're waiting online, instead of pulling out social media and scrolling through and comparing, you can look at the things that you're excited about. So that's a kind of fun one. And then take time to reflect, particularly at the beginning of the year or even at set intervals throughout the year. Notice how you're doing, what you've been up to, where your goals are, and if you're happier than you were last year. Take care of your body. Make sure you're making your annual appointments, getting any kind of medical test done, checking blood pressure, etc. And let go of grudges. Forgiveness is for you. It's not so much about the other person. It's not even necessarily about, reconnecting with them. It's about letting go so that you are free. And then maybe even consider planning a trip. Take some time, get away, even if it's for one day. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be a 1 day car trip just to let yourself be free. Change of scenery can mean a change of mindset too. And then another one is you can use happy mantras throughout the day, like I live with a happy heart, a peaceful mind, and a playful spirit. That is so much more useful than when we tend to talk to ourselves in our minds with the negatives and let that uh, inner critic go wild and stuff like that. All right. So I hope this has been useful to all of you, and I look forward to seeing you next Mindful Monday. Make it a great